You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries, as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take. Your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jim Norton. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Glad to have you with us.
I love my song.
Yeah, there we go.
Love the song.
You remember that one way too well.
I do.
You were probably one of the ones causing trouble in school.
Yeah.
He's taking the fifth over here, right?
No. I'll dive right in. I'll take the heat.
You'll take the heat for it. There's probably some teachers that are still suffering now. They PTSD. I shouldn't joke about PTSD. That's not a good one. Okay. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as I share with you every week right here on Go Country, this is an interactive show. Go to StreamYard.com/user, StreamYard.com/user. If you're listening to us, record the broadcast live. So we are live. We're playing on the station on Sunday morning, 7 to 8 a.m. We record on Wednesdays at 10:30 in the morning. If you want to join us at 10:30, we are here, ronsiegelradio.com or any of our social channels, ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our social channels. We are here live. We'd love to get your questions. Love to interact with you, see what you have to say. We do this program as a courtesy, like to educate you. That's what we're here for, is for education. There's all kinds of free tools and things we give away to try and accomplish the education part of the broadcast. But hey, you know something? We've got to have some fun as well. So even though, yes, I understand if you're watching us on the socials, it's Wednesday morning, but on the FM dial, it's Sunday morning and it's National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day. And again, if you're watching us, that chocolate cheesecake, that is way too small. That's a small, that's for my kids, right? I mean, you got to get a big piece of cheesecake in there. So I like cheesecake, almost any kind of cheesecake. My mom used to make a great one that was a blueberry compote on top. It was really good stuff. National Oreo Cookie Day. I like that one as well. But just be careful. You might want to brush your teeth after the Oreo cookies. That just doesn't look very good. So Oreo cookies, you can't eat just one. Do you like Oreo cookies?
Oh, no, I love them. Oh,
yeah, you can't eat just one.
Right now, we should have brought it. If you'd have known that, we should have brought some more.
Yeah, the only thing I have in the studio, which I shouldn't turn around, but for those of you that are watching us on any of the channels, I've got some Girl Scout cookies, and I'm going to still say that they're Samoas, right? You remember Samoas, right?
Yeah.
They call them Caramel Delights now. I don't know about that part. Josh, your kids are too young for Girl Scouts, right? Okay, so next year we're going to bring this back. We didn't do it this year. I was remiss. Usually And now it's even easier because it used to be I couldn't do this as easily. But I used to do now you're in real estate, Jim. You know double ending, right?
Right.
Means you get paid both ways,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I used to do the double-ended Girl Scout cookie drive. Now you have to be really careful of this because in the Girl Scouts, they've got a rule that the girls have to sell the cookies themselves.
Right.
But they sell them to me. So that's how we get around it. So we would broadcast the idea that we want to sell as many boxes of Girl Scout cookies as possible for a given girl. We don't generally give their name out because we don't want to cause any problems. We don't want to for security reasons. But the condition that we would buy the cookies under is the girl and her mom had to take as many boxes we could sell. We would sell them. At that time, all we could do is PayPal. There wasn't Venmo when we started doing this. We didn't have all these other apps. But we would sell as many boxes as we could. I think we capped out one year at 1,000 boxes of cookies. A lot of boxes. Now, I like Girl Scout cookies. I eat more than my wife wants me to eat of the Girl Scout cookies. But here was the deal because we called it a double end. So how do we benefit two different parties all at the same time? Well, the Girl Scout and her mom or dad at the time, it was mostly moms, had to commit to us that whatever we bought, they would deliver to a local charity. So the charity got the cookies, the girl got the sales, and everybody wins. So we'll bring that. As soon as you're of age, Josh, we'll have to make sure we have that on board to do that. Because that was a lot of fun, selling Girl Scout cookies every day, pushing them every day on the broadcast. We had a good time with that. So we like that idea. But I digress. We got a lot of other good things that we're giving away. So, Josh, this is gonna be a good one. So on the 4th, that would be Friday, we're releasing our new book. So a couple of our new products, our home buyer's guide is going to be released on Friday. So you're going to have to go to rsrhbg.com and get a copy of our home buyer's guide free. If you go to RSRHSG, you can get a copy of our home seller's guide free. RSR Home HBG, RSR HSG. They come out once a quarter. They're about a 22 to 25 page book. We give you that information again free. Now, we just did this one. RSRHomescout.com. RSRHomescout.com. If you are thinking of buying a house anytime between now and the next 12 to 18 months, go to rsrhomescout.com and we've got a nationwide search available right there. You put in the parameters. So if you are contemplating moving from Brea to Yorba Linda, all the properties available in Yorba Linda will be accessible to you. But if you're planning on moving from Brea to maybe Seattle, all the properties in Seattle are available to you there as well. rsrhomescout.com. Go in there, put the parameters in of what you're looking for, put the pricing in of what you're looking for, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. If it's got to have a white picket fence, you can put that in there. If you want to have a pool, you can put that in there. And it's going to send you the information. You get an immediate look at what's available today, which if you're looking in Southern California, there's not a lot available. But over time, as properties come on the market, you can set it up. I want to get a text message every time a new house comes up for sale that meets my parameters. I want to get an email every time it comes up. The best part of it, no advertising, right? You're not going to have that column along the right side that says, if you want to see this property, you have to call the agent that paid the most money for it, or fill your information in here so we can sell your information to 10 people and they can start hounding you every day, all day. That's not the way it works with Ron Siegel Radio. So you can put your information into RSR Home Scout and you'll get that information. It'll come right to you. We have a team of real estate professionals like Jim Norton here who are more than happy to assist you. We do the vetting of the agents. In spite of Jim, we let everybody in. No, we don't let everybody in. We do vetting to make sure that they've got the same heart.
I love a vet.
You love a vet. So we like to make sure that we've got that. The reason we do that is we only want people with the right heart. We want people that are going to be looking out for you, that they've got the heart of a teacher, right? And we love teachers. That's why we've got rsrhero.com, where we have rewards for veterans, active and retired, teachers, police, fire, doctors, nurses, all these different programs right there. Again, rsrhero.com. We're giving away way too much stuff. Can you even keep track of all this stuff that we've given away? And we've only been broadcasting for 11 minutes. Look at these things. I think I've got about a half a dozen items we've offered you in 11 minutes already. Where else are you getting all this education? And why? Well, because we want to earn your lending business. Just call it straight out. There's no secrets on Ron Siegel Radio, right? Our team wants to earn your lending business. We want to be your lending partner. How about your liability partner for life? And being that we're giving things away, we might as well talk about liabilities, right? Because we've got that too, rsrnodebt.com, rsrnodebt.com. And would you like to be debt-free in 9 years? Last week, you heard us with Todd Halterman. He was on the broadcast with us last weekend talking about 9 years to be totally debt-free, including the mortgage guaranteed. Think about all that. So now we've even given away more stuff. One last one. What the heck? We're going to do this one too. rsrcreditbook.com, rsrcreditbook.com. Do you want to understand your credit scores? Do you want to understand how to increase them? We've got that one for you there as well. We better get on with the broadcast. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, Jim Norton and I are going to be chatting about how do you get a real estate offer accepted? Maybe you're a first-time buyer. What are a real estate offer agent going to help you with that one? Down payment assistance programs can help you achieve home ownership. And yes, we've got a better outcome segment, buying a new home when obligated for the marital mortgage. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Operators are standing by. What's going on in the world of mortgages right now? It's called volatility. And as I've shared with you in the past, we broadcast our programs. We know Go Country Sunday morning, 7 a.m. every week. We appreciate you being here. We know you have other things you could be doing. But the interest rates are always coming out earlier in the week. We record on Wednesday morning, and I'm going to share with you something that is fascinating because it's going to have a lot to do with what we're going to talk to Jim Norton about today. So I've told you this before, 35% market share of the loans that are originated in the country go through a company called Ellie Mae. Ellie Mae is the loan origination software. They have a program called Optimal Blue, and it's part of a company called Black Knight. You don't care about any of that stuff. Nobody does. Just want to give you the background and the credentials. But when you hear 35% of the loans are going through this one piece of software, then they can track what interest rates are being locked at, what people are actually getting, as opposed to, I've told you many, many times that every Thursday we get the Freddie Mac rate. So as of the 24th of February, that's really old as for these rates, based on rates, it was 3.89. You had to pay 0.8% to get that rate. That's history. Not available today. Old story, old news. What is happening as of this minute? That's the big issue. So the report comes out. What did the loans get locked at yesterday on Optimal Blue? 3.98%. You might say, well, Ron, that's a lot. Well, the day before, it was 4.09. So they dropped 10 basis points, 11 basis points. But what about the day before that? Go back to Friday, the 25th. Loans were locked at 4.188. So they're down 0.2% since last Friday. Now they're going up today because of world economics. But just giving you an idea there, and why do I tell you what those numbers are? Are you going to get those numbers? No, I'm not offering you those numbers. I'm just telling you what happened yesterday and the couple days prior to that, just to give you an idea of what's going on in the marketplace right now on interest rates. Now, if we go back and we look a little further back, well, what were rates being locked at on December 20th? 3.28. 3.28. 0.75% less than they're being locked today. Now, how does that affect you? Well, you can't get 3.28 based on the same qualifications as it was being done on the 20th of December. Not available. Could you get that? Yeah, there are strategies for doing that. But you need to be talking to your lender. We're talking to everybody that we've been doing pre-qualifications for to find out, something. We need to make sure that the numbers still work. I don't want you going out and being surprised that, something. I've been shopping for 6 months. I've made 10 offers. Is that realistic? Somebody got out shopping 6 months, made 10 offers,
Yes.
and got outbid on every one of them.
Yes.
That's realistic. Now you go out, you make an offer, you get accepted, and get to the lending side, and your offer just blew up because your pre-qualification was based on old numbers and you didn't have somebody calling you. Headset agents, they don't call you, right? They're not the ones out there calling. The professional loan officers are, right?
Apps don't call you either.
Apps, that's right. Some app on this isn't calling you either.
App doesn't call you.
So the bottom line is you need professional guidance. And how do you deal with that? Is there solutions to that? Well, the idea here is ronismylender.com, ronismylender.com. It goes right to my team. They're standing by to help you and make sure that you have a solution, because we don't want you to get to finally say, oh, I finally got there. I finally got my offers accepted. And all of a sudden you get shot in the foot because of your team. Don't like that. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Jim Norton is with us, Realty Pro 100. You've seen a couple of cycles in real estate in your day, haven't you?
Just a couple.
How long have you been doing this?
81.
81. He looks pretty good for 81 years old,
Yeah,
doesn't
for
he?
81 years old. Thank you. I do feel good.
So
Uh,
since 1981.
Yeah, you want me to go through the recession? I can take you. The worst part is I can still remember each one of them. My favorite,
one of
though,
what?
my recession.
Oh, okay.
My favorite was the 2002 recession because it was the internet that crashed, not real estate.
Yeah, it was
So
big.
we survived.
Yeah,
you know.
and it wasn't even Russia doing it then.
Yeah,
So that's
but-
a different story.
Just a different story. Who knows? Maybe it was a
Yeah,
hacker.
exactly.
But yeah, the big R word. It's being thrown around again.
It is.
Just
So
this
you think
morning,
real estate's going to drop?
the impetus is not for real estate's not the lead on this recession.
Okay.
So the impetus is that if anything, the market will drop if we go into a recession. It just naturally does. It just won't fall.
It just what?
Won't fall.
Okay.
I mean, you got to remember, if you use the definition of a normal market at 30 to 45 days of a property being on market before it sells or closes, and X amount of closings per month, if you go back to the trend lines and everything, we're way above that. I mean, people are still talking about 2-3 days on the market before an offer is accepted. I mean, it's still.
I broadcast my radio program from a real estate office, and you hear people say, "Oh, we got a listing today. We're gonna put it on the market on Thursday, open house on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll review all the offers on Monday,
Right.
and we're in escrow on Tuesday."
Exactly. And that tells you the market's still it's still on fire, right? Let's just call it that. The interest rates haven't haven't slowed it a little bit. There are some chinks. People will have a story here and there. There'll be a little bit, but you're trending way above an average base market.
Yeah, so the houses are selling much quicker. Now, do you have to have a strategy in order to get price properties sold?
Keyword.
Or win or won?
Well, if you want, you always have to have a strategy, whether you're a seller or the buyer. You
Okay.
have to have a strategy. And if your agent his idea of a strategy is that I'm going to put it in the MLS to sell your property, and I think we can get $1 million, it's a pretty bad strategy. I mean, you have to have a strategy laid out, backed up, contingencies. You have to be ready for all that, especially right now on the buyer side.
What do you mean by contingencies? Where are we going with that one?
Well, you always want to have a plan A and a plan B and a plan C.
Okay.
In 2005, we were still operating as a home builder.
Okay.
And I went to Contingency
101.
No, F.
Okay.
I was down to contingency F, E, F, G. I think I ended all the way up at H before we sold off the last of our houses at that time. So you have to have a plan. You just, you strategize, you get ready, and then you adjust your plan. I mean, right off the bat, you said, have you refreshed your approval letter? And then what type of pre-approval letter do you have? You know as well as I do, there's 2, 3, 4 different levels of pre-approval.
Sure.
And your age
Pre-approval, pre-underwritten.
Exactly.
Right now, and the new real estate contract actually has a spot on there for pre-underwrite.
Yes.
Right. So that's brand new. So it hasn't been out there for a long time. A lot of companies are still not even doing that. So you got to watch and see is the company that you've gotten underwritten or approved from, have they even dealt with that?
Right.
Josh, I just put into the box home prices during the last recessions. Can you grab that and share that for us? The graphic on there of what's happened in real estate in the last recessions. And while Josh is doing that, the whole concept here though is you've got to have a team working with you.
Absolutely.
Right. You need you can go online and find real estate. Homescout.com, rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Great resource for finding a property. But I'm going to tell you, that's not where it stops. That's just the beginning. That's finding the property. Now, I mean, the new purchase agreement, if you're dealing with somebody that hasn't sold a house in a year, which is most of them, right? They don't even know that there's a new agreement. Now, I'm going to share with you the new purchase agreement that's out. Or I'm sorry, not the new purchase agreement. I want to show first. I want to get to the recessions because Jim was just talking about the recessions a bit ago, and Josh just put on the screen for us the recessions. The last, I think, 4 or 5 recessions. I'm going to be able to look at it here because my old eyes can't see the screen. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our socials. 1980, real estate went up 6.1%. 1981 recession, real estate went up 3.5%. So you had 2 years back-to-back recessions.
Right. Remember that.
And over those 2-year period, 6.1 up, 3.5 up. 1991, real estate dropped 1.9%. That's nothing. In 2001, that was when you were talking about, right? Basically the internet recession.
That's the internet recession.
Up 6.6%.
Right.
Up 6.6 real estate. 2008, different story, right? So real estate was down 19.7. Real estate caused the recession.
Yes.
Right. So you can't really say, okay, well, that's a normal situation. Real estate is not causing the recession we're going into.
No. But your two sub levels were both real estate recessions. Remember the first one at 1.6 was the S&L.
Right.
Remember, we used to have a thing called savings and loans. We don't have them anymore.
Right.
That's gone because in that
So
recession.
that only went down 1.9%.
And only 1.9% for what it entailed at the time. I mean, of course, it pales in comparison to anything that's today. What was it when Solomon Smith Barney went under with the stock market? I forgot what year in the 70s. It was like $4 million. I think there's $4 million a minute today in the stock market. I mean, maybe a second, but
Big
not
time.
even close to the level of value that's out there today.
So when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Jim Norton. Are there options to try and bring that interest rate back down to where it was? We're going to talk about that. That's kind of new to us. Not maybe to you. I've done this many, many decades, so I understand it. I want to share it with you so that you know it as well. We're going to also chat about down payment assistance programs. Maybe that's the way you can get into the market. And our better outcome segment, buying a new home when obligated for the marital mortgage, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 0186945. We're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property, and also visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. You can do that search for any property anywhere in the sound of my voice. And that would be, well, I should say the continental sound of my voice. Down payment assistance programs can help you achieve home ownership. For many home buyers, the thought of saving for a down payment can feel daunting, especially in today's market. That's why when asked what they find most difficult in the home buying process, some buyers say it's one of the hardest steps on the path to home ownership. Data from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, shows, quote, first-time home buyers, 29% said saving for a down payment was the most difficult step in the process, unquote. If you're finding that your down payment is your biggest hurdle, the good news is there are many down payment assistance programs available that can help you achieve your goals. The key is understanding where to look and learning what options are available. Here's some information that can help. First-time and repeat buyers are often eligible. According to downpaymentresource.com, there are thousands of financial assistance programs available for home buyers, like affordable mortgage options for first-time buyers. But of the many programs that are available, down payment assistance options make up a large majority. They say 73% of the assistance available to home buyers is there to help you with your down payment. And it's not just first-time home buyers that are eligible for these programs. Downpaymentresource.com notes, quote, you don't have to be a first-time buyer. Over 38% of all programs are for repeat buyers who have owned a home in the last 3 years, unquote. That means no matter where you are in your home ownership journey, there could be an option available for you. There are local programs and specialized programs for public servants. There are also multiple down payment assistance resources designed to help those who serve our communities. Teacher Next Door is one of those programs. rsrheroprogram.com. We give away money to help teachers. The Teacher Next Door program, quote, Teacher Next Door program was designed to increase home ownership among teachers and other public servants, support community development, and increase access to affordable housing free from discrimination, unquote. Teacher Next Door is just one program that seeks to help teachers, first responders, health providers, government employees, active duty military personnel, and veterans reach their down payment goals. Veterans, you don't have a down payment goal. You get zero, right? No down payment if you've got full eligibility for our veterans. Thank you for your service. Most importantly, even if you don't qualify for these types of specialized programs, there are many federal, state, and local programs available for you to explore. And the best way to do that, give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll talk to you about financing. Our team is ready. And we've got great real estate professionals that we work with everywhere in the sound of my voice. So give us a call again, 800-306-1990. That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrhomedigest.com and rsrhomescout.com. Two great tools just for you. Totally compliments of Ron Siegel Radio. Continue our conversation. Jim Norton is in the house. We got through the semi-depressing stuff. We did talk about the concept of a recession. It's coming. Just be aware of that. We don't want you to be upset by it. We don't want you to be deterred by it. Just know that we know how to navigate it. That's the whole bottom line there. Now, the concept here that I want to get into now is the interest rates. They've gone up. I told you about that in the last segment, what's happening as reported by Ellie Mae. Now, I don't use the APRs in there and all that legal things because it's not an offer to you. It's not available. Those are history. That's what happened yesterday, day before, last week. So we're not talking about all of those things. We're just saying, what did the loans lock at? Now, what I want to talk about, though, is the concept of, can you get back to the rates that maybe you were pre-approved at? Well, you have to understand how the rates work because, and this is not for the down payment assistance world. So the concept that I want to share with you, educate you on, is something called buying down a rate. There's a lot of people that have this the thought that points are horrible. We never pay points. There's no reason to pay points. Why would anybody in their right mind pay points? You ever heard that before?
Absolutely. I've said it.
You said it. Okay.
Why would you pay points? But you're right. If you're coming on, and again, this isn't for the assistants, but if you're coming off selling your house and you're looking at your next house, and let's say you're over 50. So the next house probably be your last one, maybe. Depends on what we're assuming we're buying for something you're living in rather than investment property. But you might want to go ahead and take an extra $5,000 from the profits and buy down those points. So that loan is locked at 3. That's great strategy. Again, back to strategy. Are you thinking about all that?
So here's the concept. How many times, Jim, when you've dealt with people that are a move-up buyer of any sort, do they say, Jim, I've got $150,000 to put down, or I've got $200,000 to put down? Or do they say, I've got 27% to put down? Generally, they go with the dollar amount, right?
Right.
On a move-up buyer, if it's a first-time buyer, I want the minimum down, 3.5%, 5%, 10%, whatever, right?
Right.
But a move-up buyer is frequently going to say, okay, I just sold my house. My net sheet says I have $160,000 to put down.
Right. They usually do it in dollar amounts.
They do it in dollar amounts. So here's the issue. When you do it in dollar amounts, very, very often you're making not using your money the most efficient way, right? So $150,000 on a $450,000, well, that doesn't work, on a $475,000 house.
That's about
right. So what is the down payment on that property? 150 on 475,000. If I had a calculator in front of me, I would figure that out real quick, but I might be a little bit slow here.
What are you putting down? 20%?
You're putting down 31.5%.
Right, 31.5%.
31.6 to be exact.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to suggest to you, you just wasted 1.6%.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because there's no price break on your loan at 31.6.
Right.
The price break is at 30, and then it jumps to 40. So at 31.6, you're wasting money. Now, what if you take that 1.6 and use it to buy down your interest rate? You're not coming out of pocket. Your cash to close stays the same, right?
Exactly.
But your payment drops.
There you go. That's the point. The payment drops.
And now you're back at the lower interest rate that might be able to help you qualify if you didn't get your pre-approval restructured. Now, here's another one. You can't, and you have to, this has to be written up a specific way. But let's go to another concept here, Jim. I don't know if we have time. I think we have a little bit of time in this segment. But your Jim Norton is the buyer's agent in this scenario. This is for educational purposes only.
Okay.
Okay. So you're in a multiple off. You've gone and you found your family the right house, $750,000 house.
Okay.
It's listed for $600,000, and you've bid up now to $750,000. Okay. Can you go to the seller and say, you know something? My buyer is willing to go up another $50,000 if you'll give him $14,000 of that to help him with his payments. Is that something you could do?
Yes. You can always ask.
Now, they may not do it, but what does that do for the seller? That just puts you $36,000 ahead of where you thought you could afford.
Mm-hmm.
Can you afford it though? Your payment's the same.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Now, here's the issue. You have to have that has to be written up a very, very strategic way.
It's a hard, it's complicated write up. But the point is that you also you exceeded the 750 that the buyer, I'm sorry, excuse me, the 750 the seller thought they were getting is now 780.
Right.
785.
Well, the offer is going to say, okay, I'm going to go up 50,000. Now they're going to net out at 785. Right. So
Right.
they're getting
35,000 more.
They're getting an extra $35,000. Now, for lending purposes, when you do that 15,000 to help with to bring down the interest rate, it has to be written up very, very specifically and correctly in order to navigate through high-priced loan rules. Right? So you have to know how to do that the right way. But you also have to have an agent that understands what this process is, because a lot of the sellers are going to say, well, why would I want to help you? Why would I want to give you back $15,000? Well, the answer is you're not giving me back $15,000. I'm giving you $35,000 net.
Right. So, and you have to have it, you have to be precise so that also your escrow instructions, because remember the timing of that buyback has to be at a certain point or it doesn't qualify for the loan as well.
Right. So it's all part of the process, but think about these things because these are high level strategies. These are not just things that the average person is thinking of, but right now I'm going to submit to you, Jim, you tell me, is the average person able to win a transaction or win an offer easily right now?
No, not with just a basic, look, I have a pre-approval letter. I'm putting 10%, 15% down. And it's, most people, you have to think, the buyers are thinking, okay, who's got cash?
Sure.
I want the guy with the all cash offer. Now, what do you do when you
Does that matter if you're pre-underwritten?
No, if you got all cash, it doesn't matter about anything. You got all cash. But if you're a buyer and you have all cash, what are you generally looking for when you have all cash?
Discount.
You got it. And so is that buyer that's all cash, is he going to take you down the road a little bit and then boom, here comes the discount. Once the home inspection's done, what good is that if he wants $25,000 in credits because he wants a whole new roof, he wants new AC, et cetera, et cetera. You gave that up for the other guy that gave you $35,000 plus. So that has to be communicated from your as the buyer's agent. That has to be communicated to the seller. And if so, you have to educate the seller's agent that, look, this is a better deal.
Why is the offer that I'm giving you in your client, Mr. Seller's, best interest?
Exactly. Sometimes they don't understand. They're just doing a spreadsheet that says highest offer, lowest offer, and you're in the middle somewhere.
All the sellers want to know price, contingency, terms,
right?
And buyers want to know, can I afford it?
Right.
And I'm not to get sexist, but mama likes the property and daddy has to pay for it. Might be the other way around, but I mean, just in my house, I'm just going my household.
Mine too.
I don't get a vote in what we like and we don't like. I am told what I like, right? And I get to share in the part of, can we afford it? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, buying a home when obligated for the marital mortgage, and more with Jim Norton. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Better Outcome segment brought to you by mycdlp.com. mycdlp.com. Buying a new home when obligated for the marital mortgage. I can't buy a new home if I'm still on the marital mortgage, is often the statement made by the spouse leaving the marital home. Fortunately, this is not necessarily true. In many divorce situations, the spouse retaining the marital home will not qualify to refinance the current mortgage, and the vacating spouse believes they can't qualify to purchase a new home while remaining on the mortgage for the marital home. This thought process seems rational. However, there are certain steps and verbiage to include in the divorce settlement agreement that can remove this obstacle. How to handle court-ordered assignment of debt. While many mortgage companies have their own guidelines or overlays to investor underwriting guidelines, a certified divorce lending professional will know how to handle court-ordered assignment of debt and the correct verbiage needed in the divorce settlement agreement or separation agreement. When a borrower has an outstanding debt that was assigned to another party by court order, such as under a divorce decree or separation agreement, and the creditor does not release the borrower from liability, the borrower has a contingent liability. The lender may not be required to count this contingent liability as part of the borrower's recurring monthly debt obligations if handled properly. Why working with a certified divorce lending professional, CDLP, can help with your marital mortgage? The key, however, is to work with knowledgeable and trained divorce lending professional. A certified divorce lending professional, again, CDLP, understands the different requirements of working with contingent liabilities. There can be hidden issues, including title requirements, as well as payments made by the spouse that is now liable. Though these hidden issues can result in denied mortgage financing. The CDLP brings tremendous value to the divorce team during the settlement process. Their background knowledge of family law, financial and tax planning, real property, and mortgage financing allows them to better support and assist the divorce team and divorcing homeowners. Do you have questions about how divorce may impact your ability to obtain mortgage financing? Well, a CDLP is knowledgeable and experienced, can help make the transition much smoother and more successful. Working with a certified divorce lending professional and incorporating divorce mortgage planning into the divorce settlement may help both spouses obtain new mortgage financing post-divorce. Give us a call, or go right online and grab a copy of the Divorcing Your Mortgage Homeowner Workbook. We just call it mydymworkbook.com, mydymworkbook.com. You can go and grab that totally free. Send it back to us once you finish with it, mydymworkbook.com. And we'll put together a full report for you and help you get organized, be prepared, understand your mortgage financing position, whether you are needing to refinance the marital home in an equity buyout situation or prepare to sell and purchase that new home post-divorce. Remember, in addition to that tool, mydymworkbook.com, you can go right on myhomescout.com, and that site will tell you what the property is worth based on four different resources. 4 different sources will give you the information on what your property is worth in that free tool. mydymworkbook.com. You're going to get the valuations rsrhomescout.com will tell you what your departing your marital home is worth right now. Might be a good guideline when you look at that to know, okay, what are we dealing with? How much equity is there for all parties? So you can go right on there, rsrhomescout.com. Continuing our conversation now with Jim Norton. We've been chatting this morning about strategies to win the buy. Right now, it's not very hard to sell a property.
No, it's not really
Right.
hard.
You can now I'm going to say it. I have a real estate license. I don't use it. I'm not qualified. Jim won't say this probably, but you know, he said you could put a sign in the yard and get the house sold. You're not going to get to the finish line though, or you're going to leave yourself when you get to the finish line open for litigation. This is California. People like to sue. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got a professional that's with you that's got experience. Not that it's your next door neighbor's best friend's dog's owner, or maybe it's the dog walking services owner, right? That did a transaction in 2021 or 2019 or whatever, right? It's easy to get a real estate license. It's too easy, in my opinion, to get a real estate license, right? 90 days, pass a test. You're never going to use any of the information on it again anyway, and you can get a license. Pay your money. That's all they really want, right? But the bottom line is, you know, you've got the new contract just came out. I have no idea how many pages it is. There's disclosures for everything. There's addendums for everything.
Mhm.
There's requests for repairs. There's navigating financing, appraisals, title. We've got one right now on the team where there's certain terminology that's in the lease agreement from the Indian reservation. The property's on Indian land.
Mm.
So they're dealing with the lease agreement on the Indian land, and there's terminology in there that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac don't like, and the Indians do like it, and got to navigate that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Title right now, I think, is it seems that every time you turn around and talking with somebody or talking to your escrow officer, the trouble properties, trouble closings, I should say, trouble transactions is title issues, because a lot of people are inheriting. They're in part of a trust, and you know, some of them, in some cases, I've gotten quite a few calls with land. I do a lot of land transactions, and people don't have title to it. It was never transferred, and then they don't know what to do. And it's like, okay, well, what do you think? You know, you think because grandma said you can have it, but the state of California says it's not yours. You know,
or what about, here's one that I just heard about 2 weeks ago, Jim. So grandma and grandpa passed on and left their residence to their grandkids, and the grandkids are 15 and 13. Now, can a 15-year-old sign a contract?
Not in this state.
Right? So go to try and sell that. You got to go through a court in order to see if it's being done the right way. It's so somebody who's of age can sign the contract. And the court has then got to look at it and say, is this in the minor's best interest?
You're back into probate. I mean, and trust me, getting into right now there's no backup in the probate courts.
Right.
They're wide open. You can just go down there anytime you want without a mask and just do anything. No, you
can wait about 4 years right now.
Oh, easily.
Last I heard, it's about 4 years in probate.
I heard the same thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to the agent doing their homework on at the beginning. So you put that sign out there, and hey, Johnny and Sally are my kids, and we're going to sell this house, but we don't have the right to sell it because even though we're their guardian.
Well, no, wait a minute. You're their parents.
Right.
But you're not their guardian in this particular case.
In that case,
you still have that problem.
Right.
Because that could be challenged by Uncle Bob.
Sure.
You know, if he says, well, wait a minute, Mom and Dad said they were going to leave it to all of us, not just to your kids. And he challenges you and you don't have guardianship. And there's a lot of loopholes.
So you got to be careful of those things. And, you then if you sell it and the that's not discovered until after the buyers have spent a bunch of money. The buyers are going to come back and say, hey, you know something?
You falsified the deal.
Falsified the deal and I want my money back. And you're going to be looking at, okay, you're going to say, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not going to go over so well.
No.
Doesn't go over very well. So you want to have professional guidance. That's the bottom line. And want to have strategies. How do you win the deal? So we've just given you a few of them here this morning on what's going on with the marketplace. Got to have some professional people. What else you got going on in the world right now? Anything that you're not the world. We're not going there, Jim. But the real estate market, do you think it's going to loosen up at all?
I think it will loosen up. It just depends on where the interest rates go. Right now, I mean, 3 to 4 is 100 basis points, and maybe a max of $200 a month on payment. Getting right back down to the payment, not to the percentages, not to anything, but you get, can the average buyer right now absorb that? Yes, as long as the job market is strong the way it is, they're getting they're getting a good salary, they're getting, the inflation
stable.
Hasn't got it's stable, but inflation's getting up to 10%. I mean, the cost of going out to dinner, the cost of groceries, the cost of gasoline. Oh my Lord, that's going to be the good one.
Thank goodness none of those things go into our debt to income ratio.
No. Yeah.
Right. You have to pay them. They go into your budget. Right.
But for some reason in the news, they don't go, you go, why do I feel pinched when they say I'm not?
Right. The food and energy is excluded in the core rate of inflation in all the different sectors.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about that before, right? Food and energy. The reason they exclude that is in most cases, policy doesn't have anything, can't control that. So now we know that policy has controlled the cost of gasoline, but the Federal Reserve can't deal with it. And they're looking at core rates to make the Federal Reserve's policy based on. So that's where a lot of that comes from. And we're just seeing a lot of volatility is what the whole issue is.
Right. But it causes a lot of static for the buyer, because the buyer's going, well, wait a minute, I was just watching the news and it's like, well, were they talking about real estate? No, they were talking about the stock market. It's like, well, you're not in the stock market. We're in real estate. This is a little longer term product. It doesn't have the short up and downs, the quickness of the market. What was it? Down 600 day before, up 500 yesterday.
Craziness.
Yeah, craziness. And so, again, strategy,
give it a
course of direction.
Absolutely. So if you want some great information, give us a call. We believe we've got the best information for you. Our team works hard at studying the markets, and we've got a lot of tools that we give away. In fact, go to if you're listening to us on radio Sunday morning, you can go to ronsiegelradio.com, look in the show archives. And Josh, maybe we can put a list of some of the items that we gave away today in there with the links, so you can grab those if you're driving or still haven't woken up, got that Sunday coffee, Saturday hangover going. We're going to have all that stuff right there, so you can make a list of or get anything that you want, all of our different tools. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh, who is engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Over the limit, I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day.